So let us take one example, one more example. Suppose again this is our x-axis and this one is our y-axis. Y-axis, they intersect each other at point O. O is the origin. Suppose there is a force here and it is a 5 Newton force, and there is a force 7 Newton which acts like this. So there are two forces, 5 Newton and 7 Newton, they act like this. So you see their heads are at the origin. Their heads are at the origin. And this is the tail of the 5 Newton force and this is the tail of the 7 Newton force. So now we can change this situation to another situation. So how that can be done? Now you see again this is our x-axis and this one is our y-axis. This is our y-axis. This is our y-axis. So now we can transmit the 7 Newton force in this direction along its line of action, or we can bring the tail of the 7 Newton force to the origin. So we can bring 7 Newton force to this position and we can take the 5 Newton force to this position. So now the picture changes from this to this. So this one is a confusing state, but this one the idea is clear. That means 7 Newton force is acting along negative direction and 5 Newton is acting along the positive direction. So here we transmit the 7 Newton force and 5 Newton force along their line of action and make this situation to this situation. So this is called principle of transmissibility. So this is called principle of transmissibility. Principle of what? Principle of transmissibility. This is called what? Principle of transmissibility. So along this course, while you are going to find out resultant of a system of forces, we will come across what? Different principles. So that we learn in the due course. So what is principle of transmissibility? So this principle states that a force can be transmitted. The force can be transmitted along its line of action. Along its line of action, a force can be transmitted along its line of action to any point. The without a change in its effect, without a change of its effect on the body, without a change of its effect on the body on which it acts. So that means आमे गोटे फोर्स को तार लाइन ऑफ एक्शन जेकोसी पॉइंट को कौन करिपरिबा ट्रांसमिट करिपरिबा आ तार इफेक्ट से बॉडी ऊपर कौन रहिबो सेम रहिबो चेंज हेबो नाही. सपोज देयर इज ए फोर्स हियर, suppose this is a force and this force and this is its line of action. So we can draw a line through the direction of this force. So this line will be called its line of action. It is called line of action. So a force can be transmitted to any point on its line of action. So, but its direction should be remain same, but keeping its direction same. So, a force can be transmitted to any point on its line of action, keeping its direction same. So, this force F can be transmitted from this point to this point. We can transmit the force from this point to this point along its what line of action, but its direction should not change. We are keeping its direction same. So the effect what the force producing on a body when it is here, it will produce the same effect when the force is transmitted to the another point along the what line of action, keeping its direction same. So here the direction of the force is to be kept what same, is to be kept same, or we don't have to change the direction of the force. If you change the direction of the force, the effect will change. So what is principle of transmissibility? So this principle states that a force can be transmitted along its line of action to any point without a change of its effect on the body on which it acts, and direction of the force is to be kept same. So in this way we come across what numbers of principles while finding the resultant of a system of forces. So that principle you have to remember. So by transmissibility principle रे आम गोटे फोर्स टाकू तार लाइन ऑफ एक्शन रे जेकोसी पॉइंट को शिफ्ट करि परिबा आउ से फोर्स इफेक्ट से बॉडी ऊपर रे कोन रहइबो अनचेंज रहइबो देयर विल नो चेंज of the effect of the force on the body. So this is your principle of transmissibility. So you see this is a 5 Newton force. It is on the negative side of the x, it is now on the negative side of the x axis, but its direction of action is towards the positive direction, and this is on the what this is on the negative side of the x axis or negative direction, but its what direction of action is along the positive x direction. Similarly, the 7 Newton is on the positive side of the x axis, but its line of action is towards the negative side. That means we change this scenario to this one. So now it is very clear, 7 Newton is positive force and 5 Newton is positive force and 7 Newton is a negative force. So let us find their resultant. So R will be 5 Newton plus minus 7 Newton. 5 Newton plus minus 7 Newton. So result is minus 2 Newton. So result is minus 2 Newton. So minus 2 Newton means the resultant is acting along negative direction. That means the result will be like this. In a small figure we are showing that. So y dash x o x dash. So resultant will be in this direction R. So R is equal to 2 Newton and it is in the negative direction, which already been indicated by the calculation. So resultant is minus 2 Newton and it is in the negative direction. So here what we find, we have taken forces along the x-axis, and in some cases we have taken forces along the y-axis. So that means those are the collinear forces, and it is very easy to find resultant of collinear forces by mere following the algebraic method. But you have to give positive sign to forces which are, you have to take one direction positive and another direction opposite direction as negative, and you take the forces which are acting in the positive direction as positive and the forces which are acting in the negative direction as negative, then find out their resultant by mere algebraic method. We will detect the principle that we are going to learn in the due course. In the way finding the resultant, we will come to learn many principles, so that we will have a detailed discussion in the latter or the classes which are coming. So let us take more example. This is x dash and this one is y dash, and this is the origin. Suppose there is a force 5 Newton here, and there is another force here which is 7 Newton, and suppose there is a force 8 Newton and there is another force 3 Newton. Like this, forces are acting on a particle or a body which is present at the origin. So let us see what will be the resultant force of this system of forces. So this is a system of forces. So it is a system of forces. System of forces. System of forces. So when number of forces are acting on a body, we call it a system of forces or not. So this is one thing you now learn. When number of forces are acting on a body, it is called a system of forces. It is called system of forces when number of forces are acting on a body, and it's called system of forces. So this is also a system of forces, and we have to find the resultant of this system of forces. So what we have learned, so when forces are collinear, we can find their resultant mere by what? Algebraic addition. So here you see we have to find the resultant of this 4 number of forces. There are 4 number of forces. Some are, so let this direction of the x is positive and this direction of the x-axis is negative. Similarly, upward direction of the y-axis is taken as positive and downward direction is taken as negative. So here let us first find out what is the resultant of these 2 forces which are acting along the x-axis. So we have to name it as, or we are summing up the forces which are acting on the what? In that case, when there are only 2 forces, on the x-axis, we find their sum, and that sum is the resultant. But here the sum is not going to be resultant or not, because there are another 2 forces are acting along the y-axis. So sum of these 2 forces are not the resultant. So we never take R for this addition of these 2 forces. We take sigma x. So sigma x is the what? Sum of forces acting on x-axis. Sum of forces acting on x-axis or not. So that sigma x, that is summation of the forces acting along the x-axis. So you see there is a 5 Newton force and there is a 7 Newton force. But this 5 Newton force is acting along the positive direction. So it is 5 Newton plus, and this one is acting along the negative direction. So plus minus 7 Newton. So this gives the sum minus 2 Newton. So it gives a value minus 2 Newton. So that means it is a summation of the forces which are acting along x-axis. Similarly, let us find summation of the forces which are acting along y-axis. So that is, let name it as sigma y, which is, so this is positive direction and this one is negative, that we have already taken. So 8 Newton plus minus 3 Newton. So this gives a value 5 Newton. And this is also positive and this one is negative. This is positive and this one is negative. So let us see what will be the result. Final result. So again take the axis. This is our x-axis, x dash. So this is our y-axis, y dash, and this is the origin. So sigma x comes out to be minus 2 Newton. So minus 2 Newton means, so this is in the negative direction. It is 2 Newton. So name it, it is 2 Newton as it is negative. Then sigma y is 5 Newton and it's positive. That means 5 Newton is along the positive direction. So this is 5 Newton. So now we have to find, so now 4 forces has been changed into a system of 2 forces or not. You see the 4 forces system, force forces system has been changed into a 2 force system. A 4 forces system changed to a two forces system. Two forces system. Four forces system changed to a two forces system. So now we have to find their resultant. So here the 5 Newton and 2 Newton are not what? Collinear. They are not collinear. They are not on a straight line. So here we cannot apply the algebraic method. Or not. So here the two forces are not collinear. Here two forces are not collinear. So we cannot apply algebraic method. So algebraic method cannot be applied. So algebraic method cannot be applied. The algebraic method cannot be applied. So what method we have to follow? That will come to know.